Hi, I'm Zach,
And I'm Lindsay.
and this is our first impressions of Final Fantasy VII the Remake.
So, you've played the original Final Fantasy VII, correct?
I played uh, up until. So, you do the reactor mission in the beginning of the remake, and then on the original, I'm up to the second mission. So, just
Mm-hmm.
a little further than what I'm assuming we've played with this game.
Okay. And
So,
when did
that's
you
it.
play the original Final Fantasy VII?
When did
Like,
I
you
play?
play, like, when you play it when you were a kid or, like, recently?
Uh, like a week ago.
Okay, so it's been pretty recent then.
Yeah, so like
Uh,
up and I only played the original to try to get a better understanding of like what's changed in the remake.
so, I guess what would you say is some of the biggest differences? I mean, obviously the graphics. The graphics are
Yeah.
incredible, even by today's standards.
Yeah, other than that, it's pretty close to. They spend a lot more time on world building and lore, which is awesome.
So, how far did you get in your 2 hour playthrough here, Zach?
I got to the after the I don't remember what the place was called. Seventh Heaven or the bar, and then you go to the apartment, and then I'm starting the next day.
Okay, I didn't get quite that far. I ended up running out of time on the train heading there.
Oh, okay. So I'm just a little bit further than you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I have a question for you. Then, in
Yeah.
the was it when you're going through and fighting the um, was it the guards and you have to get on the rooftops and stuff? Did you immediately go to the rooftops, or did you go back and fight the rest of the guards and everything?
I've like with the helicopter in the
Yeah.
courtyard and stuff. Yeah. I stayed back for a little bit and fought. I didn't. I had a feeling I could fight the helicopter or at least something with the helicopter, but no, I eventually climbed up the ladder and went up to the roof.
Okay, what I mean though is like in that space, like you can go back through the alleys you came to get there, but they're filled with more guards.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
I went back just to explore and see everything, and I
Yeah.
ended up finding some extra stuff back there too. So I did kind of like that because this game really rewards you for going back and getting stuff. Like I ended up getting like an extra materia to put in. What was it? My sword that like boost my HP from going back there.
Oh wow.
So this game is definitely one of the ones that rewards you for really taking your time and looking around for everything, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I do have to say though, I was a little bit annoyed. Mine like glitched. Like the whole time I was doing this, anytime there
Oh
was a
no.
cutscene, all of their voices instead of being volume at like 100%, the volume was at like 5%. So
No.
they're like, "Cloud, come this way," and then a cutscene would start, and they're like, "Cloud, right." Like, oh no! So I'm probably gonna have to like reinstall it to get it to work right. But I looked
Yeah.
online, and that's definitely not the normal. Um, I just happened to be unlucky for this 2 hour playthrough.
No.
Um, but overall, though, I had a lot of fun with it. I definitely think I'm gonna end up playing this one to completion when I get a
Oh
chance.
yeah. Yeah. I So we've been doing these first impressions for a few weeks now. We've actually
There's been
pretty
a lot of first impressions come out. There's been a lot of big games come out lately.
yeah. We've done like three or four in a row. This has been by far the hardest one for me to do because like with my schedule, video games come out midnight Thursday night. I'm off Thursday night, so I that's really my chunk of time to to play to do that 2 hours. But then I don't get to play it until after we record the video.
Yeah.
So like that has been the hardest thing to do, especially with this game. Is like I want to just play this game. I was not expecting this game to be as fun as cinematic as it is, and like the graphics are awesome. The not customization, but like the all the abilities and like the different materials and then the different spells and how you level up those spells. I was like, man, there's a lot in this game. There's a lot of that is in the original, but it's just like they've done the impossible in remaking one of the greatest games ever and made it better somehow.
Yes.
And it's only a part of
They've
the game.
definitely, I've talked with one of my friends about this who played the original heavily,
Yeah.
and he is way more into the game than I am. He's already like 10 or 12 hours into the story.
Yeah.
And he says everything they've done about it is pretty well just like what you said, expanding on the lore
Yeah.
and, not just getting off track with fetch quests and stuff, but actually expanding on to characters and stuff.
Yeah.
Is really good. And what I've played of so far, I mean, the level of polish on it is really well done. And they've actually done a couple things I wanted to touch on different from the demo, because we played the demo a couple weeks back. One of my biggest complaints about playing the demo was there was no quick way to use spells or potions or anything like that. You had to
Yeah.
go through the menu and do that different stuff, which really irritated me. I was like, I want a quick thing to do because every time I have to pause it, go through the menu, look at the different stuff, then equip it, and
Yeah.
then use it and all that stuff. I'm like, I love the fast paced action. I want a way to just keep that going. Um, and with this, they've really done that because now you can use the quick access menu and assign 4 different things for quick access.
Yeah.
So you could have some different attacks, a spell, and a potion, and some stuff. And I think
Yeah.
that really fixed one of the biggest complaints I had about the demo.
Yeah. Some more changes from the original to the remake that I was thinking about. The limit breaks in the original are the spells in this game. So like the braver attack that Cloud has was a limit break in the original. And I limit breaks in this one are like, the super attacks.
Yeah.
And so that's cool that they kept that, but kind of changed it. And I really, really enjoyed the combat system where you're doing attacks manually, but you're building up your meter to do these special attacks.
Yes.
That is really awesome.
No, I
And
definitely
then,
like that too.
yeah, and then that moment in the remake where you're going through the city after the Mako reactor explosion, I call it Mako, and they call it Mako. I really don't know why. I feel like
Yeah, I
everybody's
don't
called
know
it
why
Mako.
either. I'm not a huge Final Fantasy person, but I mean, I've watched some of their movies and seen a bunch of stuff about it. And apparently, it's always been called Mako, and now they're calling it Mako, which seems very strange to me.
Yeah, and like in the original, who was it? One of the characters that you meet later in the game is called Eris, but the translation was wrong in the English version, and it came out as Aerith, and so they're just keeping it as Aerith, even though that was incorrect. But in the remake, that section where you're going through the city after you make that explosion,
Yeah,
that takes like what 15, 20 minutes. You're
yeah,
going through and exploring. That's literally like 60 seconds in the original. So that just they really are expanding, but it doesn't feel like they're expanding for expand. They're not fluffing the game.
yeah. Well, I mean, it feels like it gives it more weight to your actions too, because
Yeah,
there's fires everywhere. You can hear people talking. Some people are like, "Oh my God, my son was in that building," or "This is our family home," or "Who would do such a thing?" And
yeah,
you're like, "Oh my God," at this point, your character thinks that he did that, you know,
yeah,
and like, "Oh no, what did I do?" And then they start having these flashbacks to like his family home that burned down. And
yeah,
I thought that was kind of cool how it just kind of shifted from one to another and really expands on. And this was something else I wanted to touch on that was different from the demo as well. Cloud keeps having these like memory problems and almost like PTSD or something.
yeah,
And in one scene, when he starts having these problems that was not in the demo, you see him like go back to his home village when he's like a kid and see Tifa
yeah,
and some of his friends, and then one of the other characters like snaps him out of it. So I
yeah,
definitely like playing from Cloud's perspective, even though sometimes it starts kind of drifting off and you're like, what's really real?
yeah. Did you happen to watch the opening cinematic?
Yes.
Was that not one of the greatest cinematics in video game history?
Yes, that was
Like
really freaking cool.
the music in this game has got me like super excited. This is so Final Fantasy VII, the original, has always been known for having really great music, and I feel like they've outdone themselves somehow.
Well, the original composer for Final Fantasy VII came back, and
Yeah,
he did an extra song for this remake, and he also had someone else who worked on some of the music for Final Fantasy VII come in and do more tracks for some of the other areas in Final Fantasy VII.
yeah. I just this so far this game is absolutely stunning, and I can't wait to go play more. The graphics are amazing. The cinematics, like going from the cutscene to where it pans behind cloud and then it's gameplay, that's been done before. Uncharted's done that. That's not a new thing, but it is so cool and it works. And it
Yeah,
works every time.
this flows very well, and the graphics of the PlayStation 4 right now are so good that it just flows seamlessly from cinematic to action. I mean, sometimes you're like, "Oh, I'm supposed to move now. This is me controlling the character now."
Yeah, and like another thing that is so impressive is that all these characters in the original had no voices. They were, I mean, in the cutscenes they had voices, but in the normal gameplay were all text. So you didn't really have a personality to connect with other than the text that's popping up on the screen. With the remake, they're fully voiced. They are like super animated. They're like full fledged characters, which is awesome.
Yeah. No, I definitely should say I don't really have a lot of bad things to say about this. Like I said, mine was glitched, but I mean it was just a very very strange fluke, which I'll re-download and fix it. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, other than that, like I don't have any issues with this game at all, and I saw no other bugs or falling through levels or anything like that.
Yeah.
It seems to have a very high level of polish, and it seems to have, a really good story, and they're expanding on the lore instead of just giving you random filler. So, I mean, from everything I've seen so far, I'm very excited to play the rest of this game.
Yes, and this game is only in the Midgar section of Final Fantasy VII, which in the original is only like 6 to 7 hours long, which I didn't even know. But so the remake, it's anywhere from like 35 to 40 hours long, which is like that's insane. And plus all the stuff that they've changed along the way, I'm super excited to see because I do know some of the story beats in the original, but if they change it, then it's going to be like, oh, it's I had no idea.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. Overall, for me, I don't have any complaints. Nothing, at least nothing so far. We're also only 2 hours into the game. Other
It'll
than
probably
that, I'm
take
like,
us a little while to get a review out on this one. It's
oh
going to
yeah,
take a
yeah,
minute.
yeah. This one's going to be a while, but because I really want to take my time with this game too. And
Yes.
so I really want to I say I want to be thorough and take my time, but clearly I didn't know you can even go back to the alleyways and find some stuff. So now that I know that they've added that, I'm definitely going to be more careful and like check the whole map. I just assumed it was like, okay, just get to the next area. So that's bad on my part. But well, overall, what did you think?
Overall, I mean, I like I said, I had pretty much no issues with this game.
Yeah.
I'm not really a big RPG person. I am fairly familiar with the Final Fantasy VII storyline through some of the movies and other media they've done. But I have to say, I'm really excited that they've gone back and done a remake of this, and I'm excited to play it all the way through for like the first time.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
And I'm definitely glad they went with the quicker mechanic systems instead of the turn-based stuff. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
so happy that they added in that quick reference button to where you can, link attacks and spells and potions to it without having to go through the menu every single time. Because that to me was my biggest complaint out of the demo, and they fixed it. So I pretty well have no complaints about this game. I would For $60 price tag, I highly recommend it. It has a very high level of polish.
Oh
Like I said,
yeah.
they've done pretty well everything right in this scenario.
Yeah. Also, there is a free theme that you can download as of now. That's a Final Fantasy VII theme, and it is awesome. It has some of the music from the game playing, and it's like I'm a huge PS4 theme guy. So if anyone's listening, definitely go check that out. There's actually three themes that are free, but one of them in particular is like awesome.
Oh, that's cool. I think that's about all we got. You got anything else, Zach?
Play Final Fantasy VII.
Yes, highly recommend it.
Yeah, highly recommend.
I guess tell us what you guys think about it in the comments below. And until next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.